2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Young Hawk, the 5 Deuce Gun. And we broadcasting live from Studio AFG here in West Philadelphia. This is the third episode of Radio AFG that I'm broadcasting not only through the audio features here on blogtalkradio.com, but I'm also doing a live well, it's not live. I'm just taping right now to make it a simulcast later on for the video version of Radio AFG via my PS3 and iCreate. So shout out to Team Sony for that. Give them a little bit of dizzat. We up here tonight live. We about an hour away right now, actually, from what tonight is all about. It is about the pending or impending release of that good basketball is about to come out. So tonight here on Radio AFG Live, it is a NBA 2K14 release Monday. Yeah. We're going to be talking about, some of the new features in the game, of course. Is it worth getting? Some of the GameStops that's doing midnight releases, are you guys going? You can call us up as always. The number is open all show long. So for those of you who are watching it on your laptops, your desktops, your iPhones, iPads, your iPods, your Google Droids, your whatever, your Razer, Motorola, X joints, whatever, you guys can come off the Blog Talk site if you want, or you can just keep listening on the site and at the same exact time, pick your phone up and dial the number 718-664-9097. That number one more again, 718-664-9097. Before we get into any of the features of the video game and whether it's good and the new couple modes or whatever, we're going to get into some music. First track I'm playing tonight, Loaded Lux, Look at Me King, live on Radio AFG. Let's go! A nigga came up, blew the game up. A nigga came up. Look at me, king. Look at me, king. It's that Loaded Lux, man. Look at me, king. Off of that motherfucking You Gon' Get This Work mixtape. That's available right now on datpiff.com. If you guys want to get it, cop it or whatever like that, you can go ahead and get it. We right back here once again, as I said, right back at it. Radio AFG Live. The number is always 718-664-9097. The number one more again, 718-664-9097. Tonight is a motherfucking NBA 2K14 release Monday. Yeah. I didn't, feel like going out and getting a mixtape or, fucking around with all this music shit, because now I'm doing everything through my in terms of music uploads and sound effects and things of that nature for the Blog Talk Radio. I'm doing it via my Metro PCS Huawei 4G Premier smartphone. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't feel like downloading multiple source files and things of that nature for audio in terms of one whole mixtape. But don't worry, all the DJs out there, DJ Ready Real, DJ Chisel Beats, who else did I fuck with? DJ Lazy Boy, for all y'all who I did mixtape features for and did episodes dedicated to y'all mixtapes on radio, AFG Live. In the beginning, don't think I changed the format, and it's over with that. I didn't change from the interviews. I'm just trying to get everything in order so now I can have everything live and linked up. I'm going to be having an interview very soon with the girl China Star, very beautiful Boricua mommy out there in New York. I got a couple of her tracks. I'm also going to be sending her some beats soon, as well as I put a track of hers called New Girl featuring Absolute on Street Heat Volume 1. You can find that on datpiff.com right now. Search Street Heat Vol 1. You'll see it right up there, the cop car on there and everything like that. She's featured on the mixtape, as well as North Carolina native DJ Yours Jersey, as well as Chox Mac. We got CTG, Rennie the Flyers, King Sire, and Dada Feast Bills. A lot of artists on there. Danny Cash. I mean, check it out. It's all independent artists. And if you guys wasn't a part of part 1 and you got music you want to be on part 2, send your tracks MP3 form only to defadeucegun@gmail.com. That's DA, the number 5, DUECEGUN@gmail.com, and I'll get your music right on there. Also, if you got independent music that you want to be featured on radio, AFG Live, to get played during the breaks and things of that nature, send the music to that email as well, and I'll get it on there. I got a couple of new artist submissions tonight, so I'm going to get to them and give the shout out to the people that sent them out to me via email. But we're going to get into this 2K14 speak. Before we do, once again, if you guys want to, get in on the action and talk about what you want to talk about, if you got it, if you played it already, if you're going to GameStop in your various area to pick it up at 12 o'clock tonight, which is about a good 50 minutes away, 40 minutes away, you can go ahead and do that. Hit us up. Let us know what you're doing. 718-664-9097 is the number. Now, 2K has been a franchise that has come out of nowhere, dating back to the early 2000s and the Sega Dreamcast system. It was on Dreamcast exclusively for the first several iterations, featuring cover star athlete Allen Iverson, formerly of the Philadelphia 76ers. And as a matter of fact, speaking of Allen Iverson, give him some dap on that. He killed it for the Sixers. Took us to the finals and shit. And, it was a hot game then. They only improved on it. They were competing mainly with NBA Live for the majority of their basketball existence. And up until about Live 09, Live 10, Live 11, it was going back and forth because Live was still making games at that point. But then when they got to the iterations of 12 and 11, they talked about doing Elite with Kevin Durant as its cover athlete. The game brought a demo out for the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade. Then the game never came out. It got shelved. It was supposed to have been back on. Now it's retooled, coming out later on the PS4 and the Xbox One, known as NBA Live 14. So we'll do an episode on that too, because it's only right. I'm a gamer. That's what I do too on my downtime. Now we talking about 2K14 tonight, and basically getting up to this point for current generation system owners. If you guys have PS3 and Xbox 360, expect the same things about the game in terms of the presentation, minus Jay-Z being the executive producer, because he's not the executive producer on this one. He doesn't choose the soundtrack and nothing. He's not involved with this game at all. But it's still a great fucking game. I've had the privilege to play one on Xbox 360 earlier, and it was an awesome feed. The controls are a little bit different, but I'll get into that a little bit later. We're going to talk about some of the new stuff with on ball in terms of defense and offense. I mean, the defense to me is more intense. It's not as lackadaisical or just standing there with your arms spread all open like it used to be on other iterations. They actually play a lot more on ball defense. You know what I'm saying? They definitely, give you more freedom, should I say, for like shit like in terms of reaching in for a steal. 2K12, 2K13, reaching in for a steal was damn near made obsolete because 8 times out of 10, and I am not exaggerating for those of you out there who got the game, who play it, usually 8 times out of 10 when you press the square button for PS3 users or the X button for the Xbox 360 users to reach in for a steal, you get called for a fucking reach-in foul. So a lot of people just stop doing it and they just lock down the defense, or they just switch off for the defender who is supposed to guard the person who's on ball altogether. Now, on this year's 2K, they became much more realistic and liberal with the reach-in. Now you actually get, if you see yourself reach in and you think that you're making contact with the ball in terms of you, the viewer playing the game, looking at your screen, and you press the button and the dude's hand is touching the ball, it's going to come out. It's not going to go through it. It's not going to call a reaching foul. They want to give you a legitimate steal reach, and it's not going to go to some predetermined animation where they go beep and look around like, what the fuck did I do? I didn't get whistled for the foul, because they do that a lot on 2K, especially 2K13. And it's not a bad game to say that. I'm just letting y'all know. Also, a lot of times last year I heard people doing the whole LeBron James can run down the court and, block shots type of fucking deal, where they were getting upset that they couldn't run down the court and block a shot. You understand? Like LeBron James could be getting beat down the field, and next thing you know, somebody go up for a layup or a dunk, and LeBron just come running from behind, back, knock that shit against the backboard. Now on this year's iteration of 2K14, they do have trailing defender blocks. So if you catch yourself out of defense, like if you playing on the wing and your point guard pass that shit and it gets stolen, and like you're the closest person to the man who about to lay it up or dunk on a break, and you jump and you make the position, you will get that trailing defender block. It's realistic. It's awesome. Also, and we're talking PS3 and Xbox 360 version. We ain't even talking about the PS4 and Xbox One version that's coming out later in November for the launch of those systems respectively. We're only talking about what's going on now. Now, speaking of what's going in now, before I talk any more about the game, we're going to get into the next track of the evening. This is a user-submitted track right here. And when I say user-submitted, these are people that they listen to the show. I put it out there, submit your music. I'll play it on the show, or I'll put it on mixtapes. So shout out to Miss Sarah Williams. She didn't say where she was from, and they didn't leave any contact information in terms of like Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. So I'm guessing that the name of the artist, you can search on the respective social media sites and look them up. But shout out to Sarah Williams for sending in this track. And to the artist who is on this track, you need to show Sarah some love because she sent you a motherfucking track in. You know what I mean? So shout out to Sarah Williams. You got love from your boy Young Hot. That's H-A-A-K, not H-O-T, for those not to know. The track that I'm about to play right now is from the artist named Tim Stacks. He is from out of North Carolina, independent underground artist from out of there. He has a new mixtape coming up. I'll let you know what the title of it is and everything after the conclusion of his track. This is called Get Money, and we playing it right now live on radio AFG. Let's go! Right back at it live, ladies and gentlemen. Radio AFG. That was Tim Stacks. The track was called Get Money. And the producers on that track are Willix Little, Jeffrey Vanguard, and Billion Boy Scout. We hollering at them guys. They sent us the track. Shout out once again to Sarah Williams for sending the track in. Give her a round of applause for listening into the show and sending the music. Thank you very much. Once again, to let you know, Tim Stacks is an underground independent artist from North Carolina. He is currently working on a mixtape that's going to be released soon called New Era. So make sure you guys look out for that. We're still talking basketball, as they say, because this is Radio AFG Live and it's still a NBA 2K14 release Monday. I told y'all a little bit about the game's mechanics on the targets of on ball for defense. Now we're going to talk about on ball for offense. On both sides of the ball, first of all, there is improved collision detection. So when you guys go run into the paint, thinking you're just going to dunk on people and they automatically fall back and you overpower them, all that shit is over with. Like my cousin Rome would say, that's over with, man. That shit is over with. It's all over with, real rap. There ain't going to be too many just run down and dunk on four motherfuckers. Like now, collision detection is so much more improved that you go into the lane, cross over Euro step and go up for a layup and somebody challenge you body to body. Y'all bodies like react to each other more realistically this year than any other one I've seen. But don't worry, for those of you who about to get it in the next 20 minutes, you're going to see it. You're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. You got about 40 minutes left before GameStop starts giving y'all copies out. You know, half of y'all probably already there. If not, get there. Call us up. Let us know what it looked like. 718-664-9097 is the number. Now, they got better improved passing on offense. I'm going to tell you that right now. It ain't that just throw it anywhere type shit no more. They improved the passing. It's much simpler in terms of the play calling. You ain't got to pull the D-pad up and then press the shit over. Now it's just a button you can press on a trigger that'll turn your play on without nobody knowing. You ain't got to pull no menu up. You can still do that shit, but you ain't got to pull no menu up or nothing like that in order to do it. It's easier to call for picks on the joint. No more pulling up menus and shit. That's also relegated to a button press. But speaking of button presses, man, a lot of y'all about to get mad because y'all gonna have, I told you we was gonna talk about it a little bit. Y'all gotta learn the motherfucking controls all over again. So if you thought you was just relearning the controls on NBA 2K13 with the right analog stick now being the shot stick and the crossover stick, side note, for all the motherfuckers out there who's complaining about that shit last year in terms of the shot stick and the analog, the shot stick and the crossover stick being the same thing, it always was that, except you didn't have to use the L2 or the left button modifier button in order to switch it from shot to dribble. You had to switch that shit, from dribble to shot. You had to switch that shit from dribble to shot. This year's, 2K13's, you changed that shit from shot to dribble. You know, you switched it the other way around. It automatically was dribble moves, but if you held the shot modifier, it became the shot stick, you know? So this year, it's like both without no button. Now it's like if you use the right analog stick to do your crossovers and your dribbles in conjunction with the left analog stick, if you don't let go the direction of what you're doing when you do the crossover step in conjunction with the left analog stick, the ball going to just shoot real quick. Like it just happened. You have to learn how to get the timing and letting the controls go when you spin it and all that shit. You got to learn the controls all over again. So for 3 years straight, you had to learn new controls. That's a con to me. That's not really a pro. That's a con, but it's not going to take away. It kind of does, because I read some posts and shit like that that's online already from some angry people. They say it kind of take away from playing the game, and if you don't learn those controls and how it get down, it virtually makes it impossible to play. Not against niggas, but against just playing the game by yourself. They got better creativity and scripted events for their new Path of Greatness featuring LeBron James mode, but we'll get into that a little bit more during the podcast. We're about 7 minutes out, and I want to make sure I get this next track in because it's the second track and the last track that I got sent in for today's show for Independent Artist of the Day. And we just played Tim Stacks from North Carolina. His song was Get Money. Shout out once again to Sarah Williams for sending that in via my defydeucegun@gmail.com email. And right now we're going to get into the next track sent in from DJ YRS Jersey or Yours Jersey. This is Chox Mac, the Pound Cake Freestyle, live on radio AFG. Let's go, man. Let's get this shit popping.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. That's always the same, but I still explain.
All right. We right back at it. It's Radio AFG Live. That was Chox Mac with the Pound Cake Freestyle. Pound Cake, a track off of Drake's album and shit that just came out. Nothing was the same. We right back here. This is still a NBA 2K release Monday. Believe that. We only got 2 minutes left of the live feed. About to head into the extended podcast. If you guys want to be a part of that and listen to the exclusive podcast that you can hear if you're just on the website, because we cut it off at 11:30 on the site, 15 minutes exclusively afterwards. You can call us up right now. 718-664-9097 is that number. That number one more again. 718-664-9097. Still talking 2K, and as I let y'all know, there is 90 seconds left of the live feed. So thank y'all for listening in and doing what you do. We do this every Monday through Monday through Saturday at 11 p.m. to 11:30 for the live feed, 11:30 to 11:45 for the extended podcast, Radio AFG Live via blogtalkradio.com. Check us out. Thanks for rolling out and bouncing with us for the 2K14 release Monday live fall. So we're going to go into the podcast. We're going to talk about the new mode that they got on there, Path of Greatness, featuring LeBron James, as well as a couple of other features that's going on in that motherfucker. But before we do that, we taking us out of here from the live show to the podcast flow. This is going to be China Star featuring Absolute, New Girl, live on Radio AFG. Let's go! All right.